If you've played The Long Dark, you already know the feeling of the first time that you tried the game. You loaded into a region, the wind was howling, your conditions started dropping, and if you're unlucky, you die before you even got to start a fire. It's a brutal and humbling experience, and it's one of the things that makes this game so good. But there's a difference between suffering meaningfully and learning and just suffering. So today, we're gonna talk about 7 tips that certainly would have helped me when I was first getting into this game, and honestly they still help me even as a long-term player. First, knowing your region. Before you can even think about surviving, you need an understanding of where you're surviving. The regions of the Long Dark are varied, and if you're a newer player, some of them will absolutely wreck you. Mystery Lake and Coastal Highway are genuinely more forgiving, there's more loot, more shelter, the wildlife and weather is slightly more manageable, while regions like Sundered Pass or Hushed River Valley will test you on every level, in ways you just aren't ready for if you're still getting comfortable with the game. Choosing the wrong starting region is not a skill issue, it's just not knowing what to be prepared for. And this game will not go easy on you. Next, let's talk about prioritizing fire, water, and shelter. Once you've spawned on a region, your clock immediately starts ticking. Within the first day of your run, you should focus on 3 things: a shelter, fire, and boiling water. In the beginning, everything else is really secondary to these things. Dehydration can take you out more quickly than almost anything else in the game, and it's a very discouraging way to lose your run. Getting a stash of water early on isn't just helpful, it can be the difference between having something to fall back on and being desperate. One of the beautiful but also frustrating things about the Long Dark is how quickly a manageable situation can spiral into a crisis. If you get your basics locked down early on, you're giving yourself as much of an advantage as you can. Speaking of your basic needs, let's talk about one of the most underrated resources in the game: cattails. They're all over, they're easy to find, and they're easy to harvest. They don't require cooking and they're light, meaning you can carry a lot of them without having to worry about your weight limit. They definitely aren't the most appealing foods, they don't have the most calories, but they can give you the small boost that you need when you have nothing else. If you're running low on food and you haven't been stockpiling cattails, you're missing out on a staple resource that can help get you through. Make it a habit to grab them when you see them as you travel the map. Your future very hungry self will be so thankful. And since we're on the topic of carrying things, weight management in the Long Dark is not optional. Being over encumbered is a quiet killer that can quickly sneak up on you. Your stamina drops, you move more slowly, and then you're exhausted in the middle of a blizzard trying to make it to a shelter. If you have a shelter, which you definitely should, you can store what you don't need there and only take what is actually relevant to the activity that you're doing. It sounds straightforward, but the temptation to bring everything with you is real. And unfortunately, it can get you caught in conditions that you can't handle, especially if you're already getting low on stamina from being over encumbered. Next, it's important to know that you can survive starvation. The thing about starvation in this game is that it's actually more forgiving than you would expect. For sure, being hungry is miserable and your character will regularly let you know how awful it is, but starvation gives you some time. Unlike dehydration, which moves quickly, starvation is slow enough that you can work with it, rationing carefully and still be able to find food before you're in a truly dire situation. Knowing that is huge. It means that you don't have to panic eat all of your reserved food when things get tight. You have some space to breathe and to make a plan. The Long Dark rewards patience, and this is a very good example of that. Next, you have to understand warmth. This is key. If there's a single mechanic that has ended more runs than any other, I would be willing to bet that it's temperature, and not in the obvious ways. Yes, being outside in a storm will freeze you, but I think what really catches people off guard is how cold interior locations can be. A car isn't always warm enough to rest in, and the chill in a cave can drop your condition if you aren't paying attention. When I first started playing, I lost multiple runs to this exact thing. I'd sleep in a car thinking I was fine, and if I was lucky, I'd wake up having lost significant condition to the cold. And if I was unlucky, I wouldn't wake up at all. Check the temperature of wherever you're resting before you close your eyes. A warm bed in a very cold room isn't always enough to keep you safe. Hypothermia and frostbite won't wait for you to understand this mechanic. Finally, probably one of the hardest ones to learn, don't be scared to die. When it all goes wrong, and it will, try not to spiral. Death isn't a failure in the long dark. I mean, it's not a failure in any game. It's an opportunity to learn a lesson and move forwards. Every run that ends badly is a run that tells you what not to do, or something that you weren't quite ready for. This game is great at humbling you, over and over, even when you know what you're doing. The players who get good at this game still die, but they die, learn something, and try again. Plus, your worst run is probably a great story, and that always counts for something. What tips do you swear by in the long dark? Whether you're a new player who's still learning the basics, or a veteran who's been through it all, I really want to know what you do to stay alive. If you like more content like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.